Hello, this is the beginning of the video, so I am here to tell you about the horrible story of my previous label and our horrible relationship. This is like an advice to all of the young musicians out there who are thinking about signing with a label, any label. Okay, so this was back in 2019, mid-2019. They emailed me saying that they were a label from the UK and they wanted to sign me. They watched my videos on YouTube and they really liked it and they wanted to set up a meeting. I read that email and for some reason I think it's spam or it's not worth my attention, so I ignore it. That was the universe's sign number one to me that I ignored. So they email me once again asking for a meeting again, and then I reply to them saying, well, thank you so much for the offer, but I am actually living in Brazil. I'm not living in the UK anymore as I once were. So they reply to me right away saying that they're not really looking to sign people exclusively from the UK. They're looking to sign anyone from the internet because that's what they do. It's mainly online. So I think, perfect. There's a label actually wanting to sign me, which at the time I thought it was so exciting and an important chapter in my life because I thought that's what artists do. They sign to labels and that's the next step in their career, right? So I schedule a meeting with these people. The day of the meeting comes and I miss the meeting. I am very diligent with time and I never miss any meetings. I'm very good with meetings, okay? And that was the very first time that it totally slipped my mind. And that was the universe's sign number 2 to me. We scheduled a meeting. The day comes again and I'm late to the meeting, like 20 minutes late, and I am never late. And that was the third sign from the universe to me. And the last one, I think, because then the universe was like, well, you really want this? Then fuck you. But before I continue with the story, I just wanted to give a massive shout out to this video's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN is the only VPN that I work with because great white sharks are my all-time favorite animal. No other VPN is gonna touch this channel. Only Surfshark. So you can use Surfshark VPN with the link in the description and use the code Orlandi to get yourself 83% off plus 3 months for free. You can use Surfshark VPN on your computer and on your phone, and whenever you are online, it's gonna protect and encrypt your data, which is really important, especially nowadays. What Surfshark VPN does is that it tricks the internet to thinking that your computer is somewhere in the world, wherever it is that it's going to fit your needs the most. So let's say you're traveling in Europe and you really want to access a website that it's only available in Brazil. You can trick the internet to thinking that you are in Brazil by turning on Surfshark VPN and choosing Brazil as your online location. If you want to log into your bank account using a public Wi-Fi, you should definitely use a VPN to protect your information so nothing leaks. Or let's say you're in Paris for the first time and you meet the cutest girl you've ever seen and you really want to buy her coffee. So you go to the coffee shop, you give them your card, and then it gets denied because your bank thinks that your card was stolen. What do? You need to impress that cute girl you just met in Paris. She's saying like, oui, oui, café, oui, oui, mon amour, café. You turn on Surfshark VPN on your phone. You pick a different location. You put your IP address of your phone back in your country of origins. So there you go. Now you have money and you can pay for the cute girl's coffee and you get married and you have kids. Everything thanks to Surfshark VPN and yours truly. You're welcome. So using Surfshark VPN, it's really the safest way to navigate the internet. Do people still say that? Navigate the internet? And as I always say, Surfshark VPN, it's like an online condom. So if you are on the internet at all, you need an online condom just to be safe. No information of yours is gonna get leaked. No pictures are gonna get leaked as well. All of your passwords are gonna be safe with Surfshark VPN. So make sure you wear your online condom, and if you want to support my channel having this amazing service, use code Orlandi to get yourself 83% off Surfshark VPN plus 3 months for free. There's the link in the description. Thank you so much, Surfshark, for sponsoring this video. Okay, so I actually managed to actually have this meeting with them and talk, and they say all of the spiel of any label that you might talk to, depending on what kind of label it is. It's by musicians, for musicians. We're all involved in music in some way. We also play instruments and write our own music, so it's very a homey feeling, blah blah blah. And we love your music and the things that you've done on your own. It's amazing, and we're so excited to see where we can take your career. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm very flattered. They tell me the contract is only for 1 year. It's like a test drive, so we can see how it goes, and then we can renew the contract if we so desire. So I think, great. If I sign with them and I don't really like it, it's not that bad of a deal because I can leave them in about 12 months. They tell me that the split of the revenue is 50-50, which is a huge deal because that's a massive cut of my paycheck of every month that I receive from AdSense and everything that I was doing at that time. But then they tell me that this ensures that everyone is going to put in the same amount of effort, and it makes us feel like we're a team and we're building this together. I'm like, whatever. I decide to take a leap of faith. I say, okay, send me the contract and I'll go over it and I'll get back to you. So they send me their contract. I know I'm supposed to show this to a lawyer, but I don't know any lawyers. So what I thought I'd do is I could show this to a friend of mine who studied law. He's not a lawyer, he doesn't practice law, but he studied law. So I show that contract to my friend and we schedule a meeting over the phone, and he says, listen, this is a very standard contract. By the looks of it, it seems like they're gonna treat you like a pop star. They're going to put your name everywhere. I'm not sure if that's the path that you want for your career. I'm not sure if you want to be treated more like an underground artist, like a rock artist. And I thought, well, I'm not a pop artist, but if they're going to treat me like a pop artist, maybe we're going to have like the best of both worlds. I'm going to keep my image of a rock/weird person, and at the same time, I'm going to have the treatment of a pop star. So they're going to set me up with lots of interviews, partnerships. It's going to be amazing, right? No. So I signed the contract. So this video is in no way meant to 100% bash them. This is just a cautionary tale of what happens when an abusive company meets a very young and inexperienced person like myself. So we start working together. They're also going to claim my YouTube videos. So all of the YouTube videos that I post every week, I have to send to them so they can claim and ensure that they are monetized and we can split the revenue, right? Right. So I start working nonstop, and right away I have this feeling that they're not going to be as involved as I thought they would be. First of all, they never email me. And I am like busy like working. I used to record everything myself. We never talk and they never email me. So I thought, well, it's like they don't exist. Another thing that I noticed right at the beginning, I was set up with this A&R representative. If you don't know what an A&R person is in a label, it means artist and repertoire. And what that person does is he is the link between you and the label, because the label is way too many people for you to talk to. So you talk to your A&R and he works with you to like build your sound and your brand and whatever you want to make you better. But what this person would do, the only thing this person would do, is email me every week a list of songs that were trending in the world with the ideas, maybe you could cover, I don't know what songs were trending at that time. Maybe you could cover a song that was played in The Lion King that Beyonce did. Well, you know, look at me. Like, I've done rock covers of pop artists, but you look at me. Do you think I'm gonna watch The Lion King with the song from Beyonce? Yeah, I'm gonna cover that. No! So I thought I was getting the best of both worlds, but I was actually getting the worst of both worlds. I was getting all of the bad things that come from being signed to a label, which is that huge money split and talking to a bunch of people that don't really care about you and don't really invest in your career. And the bad things about an MCN, which is that generic treatment. If you don't know what an MCN is, it's a multi-channel network. It's just a network that takes care of YouTube channels to ensure that our videos stay monetized. Like, I'm with an MCN right now as we speak. So I was getting this generic treatment from this label that was supposed to have a very specific treatment to each of their artists, but I was getting none of that. But you know what? Up until that point, it was all fine and dandy. It was a bad contract, but it was okay. No horrible thing had happened yet. Until they sent me my invoice for the month, and for the first time ever, after working super hard the whole month, I have earned the total amount of minus £400. I had worked 31 days producing music, recording my own videos, recording my own songs, recording the guitar on my own like I used to do, producing stuff on Logic like I used to do as well, editing my own videos as well like I used to do, and I received the total amount of negative £400. So right away, I emailed them. I'm sorry, there must have been a glitch in the system. Your invoice says that I received minus £400. Can you please explain this to me and send me my actual paycheck? Thank you very much, Violet. They emailed me back saying that that was the correct amount because they had offered to mix my tracks, and irresponsible little me didn't even ask how much they were going to charge for the mixing for 4 songs a month, basically, that I was doing at the time. And they said it was for the mixing engineer. And I thought, how much am I paying for mixing? 4 songs a month are being mixed and I can't even afford that. I would ask so many times for them to send me the breakdown of costs of anything that they were doing with my money. They would never send me any actual information on paper for me to look at. I didn't know what to do. We still had many months in our contract left. I thought, well, I can just keep working and hope that the costs balance each other out. I asked them to stop mixing my songs, and I found another mixing engineer much more affordable. I thought that that was gonna fix it, right? No. The point is that for way too many months, I think for about 3 months, I actually owed them money. So I was working not only for free, I was paying to work a lot. So at that point, I had already made up my mind that I was not gonna renew my contract with them, obviously. 60 or 30 days before our contract was about to expire, I sent them a very thorough email telling them that I did not want to renew my contract with them. They email me back saying that they want to renew the contract. And I say, too bad. I don't. Goodbye. They email me back saying that they do not need my consent or my signature to renew the contract. So they're gonna do it anyway. And then I started getting very desperate and angry at myself for thinking that they were gonna say, that's fine, thank you so much for your hard work, goodbye. No, they wanted to renew the contract without my new signature and without my consent. So I started freaking out, right? I wasn't making any money off of YouTube. Patreon saved my life. That was the only money I was living off of. I was filming and recording all of my videos just off of the money that I made on Patreon. So I realized that I had to hire a lawyer, and I was advised to hire a lawyer from the UK because the laws are different in the UK than in the US. I think in Brazil as well. It's like the most expensive thing to do is hiring a lawyer from the UK, but I did it. I stopped all direct contact with the label, and my lawyer would speak for me. As they're talking, and as my lawyer is trying to get me out of that contract, he advises me to go basically on strike, to stop producing covers, because if I would carry on with the covers, I would just be making them more money. I didn't want to do that. So I think I stopped with the covers for about 2 months, which was very scary for me because ever since I started doing my covers on YouTube, I had never stopped. I would upload 1 video every week, religiously. I had never taken a break off of YouTube. That was the very first time I went a prolonged amount of time without posting anything. So I didn't know if people were gonna unsubscribe. I didn't know if people were gonna ever come back to my channel to watch stuff. I thought I was gonna hurt my channel so much. My viewership was never gonna be the same anymore. So it was a very stressful time to me. My lawyer and the label talk back and forth. The label doesn't want to let me go, but my lawyer was able to get me to a place where they agreed to let me go if I would release 1 full-length original album through them. And as soon as the masters were delivered to them, they would end my contract. At the time, I was so desperate that I thought, yes, I'll totally do that. Now I realize that I could have pushed that deal further to not have to do anything, but I was so desperate and wanting to get out and wanting to start working again that I said, yes, okay. because I had the songs. I took like 2 weeks out of my life to sit down in front of the computer myself without anyone else, and I recorded everything on my own in my bedroom, those 10 fucking songs that I had in my catalog, and I sent it to the mixing engineer and I got the masters back. I didn't even listen to the masters. I just sent everything to the label and I said, here you go, leave me alone. That's why I do not push that album at all right now, because it's still available. I despise the existence of that album. I enjoy the songs that are in there, but I hate the way that they were produced. I hate the way that they sound. I hate everything about it and what it represents. Especially because if you listen to that album, you're just giving money to that piece of shit of a label. I deliver my masters to the label and then I just ask them if they're gonna invest any money whatsoever in this, because they wanted me to also produce music videos for it, and I said, if you pay for it, I'll do it. So they write me back saying that they're gonna invest $5,000. Yes, for all of my pain and suffering and all of the time that I was gonna have to take out of my day to do this. They were gonna invest $5,000. They wanted 3 music videos and 3 lyric videos, not counting all of the time that I spent producing the music for this piece of shit of an album. So I take the money and I do whatever I can to produce 1 music video and 1 lyric video. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything else, I'm sorry. So that was that. I produced those 2 videos. I released the album through them, and a couple of months after we ended our contract, they sent me interviews for websites that, I'm sorry, but no one fucking reads and no one has ever heard of. And if you manage to find those interviews, I gave some really funny answers, so let me know if you're able to find them. One of the questions for one of those interviews actually was like, do you have anything to say to your fans? And my response to that was, so anyway, how's your sex life? That is the tale of how I got signed and how I got released from that abusive contract. So now I'm finally out and I'm thankfully making money once again. I'm with an MCN now, which is a much better deal for me. I've gotten a few DMs ever since I got released from that contract from people who were approached by that label and wanted to sign them. And I told everyone that they should run for their lives. So here's my advice to you if you're thinking about signing to a label. At least make sure that they're gonna actually put in the work to push your career and to make things bigger and better for you, because that is the bare minimum. And if they can actually invest in your career, that's a plus. I had none of those things. Read your contracts, or at least make sure that you hire a very good lawyer that was very well recommended to you to read them with you, and fuck that label. Not all labels are bad, but that one specifically was very bad. So this is where I'm at right now. I am currently producing my debut full-length original album. Let's call it that, because we're gonna forget what happened. And we're doing everything independently. So if you would like to support the album and the making of the album, you can check out the links in the description, especially for Patreon if you want some extra cool rewards, including having your name printed on the physical and digital copies of the album. I really appreciate all of the support that we've been getting for this album, and if you're new and you want to join, feel free to join Patreon or make a one-time donation with the links in the description. I really, really appreciate this. By the way, if you're a lawyer, or if you know a lawyer and you want to help me take that first album down, take it back from that horrible label, hit me up. We need to talk. Help me. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for listening to this cautionary tale with Violet. Thank you so much, Surfshark VPN, for sponsoring this video and working with us once again. I'll talk to you later. Please appreciate every single album that we put in the background for you, okay? Thank you. Goodbye.